Pagtulong sa ICC is one thing, but stopping them is another. Parang hindi magandang picture yung makikita kapag pinipigilan ng pamahalaan anyone who would like to inquire in such information.
Philippine government will allow the ICC to conduct their own investigation in the country. Yun naman ang sinabi rin ni Solgen, supporting the statement made by the President. We were informed na ang subject ng arrest order ay wala na ho rito. Ito ay, I guess, yung last information that we have is he is in Dubai.
Sinabi ni Solgen Guevara na hindi nila pipigilan yung mga ICC investigators kung i-interview nila yung mga resource person tsaka yung mga suspect sa Pilipinas. Yun lang po.
Well, ako sa akin pagtulong sa ICC is one thing, but stopping them is another. Parang hindi magandang picture yung makikita kapag pinipigilan ng pamahalaan anyone who would like to inquire in such information. Also, yung public hearings naman natin regarding the EJ case and whatnot, lahat public documented naman yan eh. It's open to the public. If it's open to the public, it's open to ICC. And for sure, pwedeng gamitin nila yan as reference.
Along the same line, dun sa sinabi ni Ernix, kaya nga sinabi natin na public hearing para po sa lahat ito. At ang mahalaga na pag-uusapan po natin doon, yung issue at nakikita po natin ang lahat ng mga anggulo at nabibigyan natin ng pagkakataon na makapagsalita at makapagpaliwanag yung ating mga resource persons. So I do concur with the position of Congressman Dan Fernandez that it can be used, but that not only by the ICC, but anyone for that matter, for as long as it will seem valuable for whatever endeavor they might want to proceed with. Now, with respect dun po sa position ni Solgen Guevara, again, a welcome development. We respect and recognize the position of the Solicitor General on this matter.
Okay, singi lang po na reaction dun sa sinabi ni Chairman Dan Fernandez na possible na magamit yung result ng investigation ng EJK sa Human Rights Committee sa ICC probe. Tsaka yung reaction na din po dun sa sinabi ni Solgen Guevara na they will not stop ICC probers daw. Pagka humingi sila, pagka kinausap nila yung mga resource persons tsaka yung mga suspects.
Well, yeah, first, dun sa reaction ko dun sa sinabi ni Solgen, yes, it has been made clear by no less than the President that he will not cooperate. He will not stop the investigation, but the Philippine government will allow the ICC to conduct their own investigation in the country. Yun naman ang sinabi rin ni Solgen, supporting the statement made by the President in the previous interviews that he had. Doon naman sa sinabi naman ni Congressman Dan Fernandez, malaking bahagi nung investigation sa EJK ay maaaring magamit ng mga investigators from the ICC if they wish to get a copy of the transcript of the inquiry that the House of Representatives has done, kasi magagamit din nila yon. They may probably get some points, they may probably get some leads or information that will help them in their investigation. Again, it is a public record and anyone can access these records. If the ICC would like to access this and probably feels that it will help them in their investigation, they can access this anytime.
Thank you, sirs. Next question from Net25. Big Semintak, you're recognized.
Good morning. Kung Ace, any update doon sa mga ginagawa nyo sa Committee on Drugs?
Okay, dun sa aming Committee on Dangerous Drugs, nakaka-siyam na hearing na po kami. At dun sa aming hearing ay marami ho kaming inisyuan ng show cause orders at saka ng arrest orders. For those who continuously fail to appear before the committee, after several invitations were extended, are now a subject of an arrest. No? Ang pinakamabigat po na inisyo natin dito, which the SecGen has already signed, no? Yung arrest order against Mr. Michael Yang. No, bakit? Because naniniwala kami na itong kumpanya na kung saan ay registered owner yung a certain Mr. Michael Yang, no, is involved doon sa corporation which owns the warehouse na kung saan i-deliver po yung 3.6 billion worth ng shabu. In-invite natin siya to shed light and probably deny his involvement, but he never appeared before the committee and never took advantage of the invitation. Since he did not attend, and pursuant to our rules, we have to issue show cause orders, and even if after the show cause orders have already been issued and still non-appearance pa rin po ang aming resource persons, we are compelled to issue the arrest order against them.
Sir, just a follow-up. So ano yung status ng arrest order? Si Michael Yang ba nasa Pilipinas pa?
Okay, we were informed na ang subject ng arrest order ay wala na ho rito. Ito ay, I guess, yung last information that we have is he is in Dubai, no? Nasa Dubai siya at dahil nga meron tayong arrest orders against Michael Yang, and if I can remember, there are two more. Hindi ko lang matandaan, but I can share this information with the media later on. Itong arrest order na to, we will have to provide an information to the immigration and the DFA, so that the DFA and our immigration can likewise alarm other countries about the arrest order namin in-issue dito sa House of Representatives, so that we will be able to track kung nasa niya, kasi maaaring lumipat-lipat na rin siya. So kapag merong ganyang alarm, it will now provide us information kung saan nagka-travel ito, because he will be using definitely his own passport. So yun ang ating doon. Yung isa naman, yung si Mr. Willie Ong, which was already a subject earlier of an arrest order, ay gumagamit na nung kanyang Chinese passport. No? We were informed. At dahil dito, ginagamit niya yung Chinese passport niya because if you recall, meron siyang Philippine passport eh. So, nung pumasok siya rito, kumuha siya ng Philippine passport, spurious yung documents, nakakuha siya ng pasaporte, nagkaroon ng problema rito, nahuli yung warehouse na naglalaman ng shabu, umalis siya using his Chinese passport. The day after we first had our investigation in the committee.
Hi, good morning po mga kongs. Unahin ko lang po kasi kahapon nagkaroon ng meeting nga sa Malacanang at sa iba pang opisyal ng pamahalaan sina US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and they expressed strong support of the US for the Philippines, and it will remain unchanged regardless of whether a Democrat or Republican president is elected to the White House. Ano pong masasabi nyo rito? At idagdag ko na lamang din na nangako ang US na magbibigay sila ng $500 million para sa military at Coast Guard natin. Roughly 29 billion pesos yung katumbas nito sa ating pera. Ano po nga masasabi nyo rito dun sa naging commitment ng US officials sa Pilipinas kahit anumang maging resulta ng eleksyon nila at dun sa ibinigay nilang tulong para sa ating bansa?
Well, number one, ikinatutuwa po natin ito kasi alam na po natin na pagdating ng November magkakaroon ng halalan sa Estados Unidos at hindi naman natin malalaman kung ano ang magiging resulta kung sino mananalo dun sa dalawang. The position of the President is also shared by the position of other world leaders pagdating sa soberanya ng ating bansa.
Well, ako, any addition is positive. So, it's a welcoming thing na magdo-donate ang Amerika ng 29 billion that can really be used to upgrade our capabilities ng West Philippine Sea team natin ng Coast Guard at ng Armed Forces. And it also shows that yung bond ng Pilipinas at Amerika like what Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez said, na it's ironclad, na there's really a strong bond in the relationship between the two countries, regardless of who the president is in both countries. So, you know, it's very important thing na regardless kung sino nakaupo sa isang bansa, yung pananaw ng pagtulong sa isa't isa ay nananatili.
Ayun. Para sa akin naman, isang magandang development yung nangyari ito. Bakit? Kasi ang magiging beneficiary dito ay yung ating Philippine Coast Guard. And we all know na meron po tayong kakulangan sa ating capability ng ating Coast Guard. And now that funds will be extended to the Philippine government that will purposely upgrade the capability of our Coast Guard, siguro with that amount of money, hindi lang yung West Philippines yung mababantayan. I've been calling for presence in the eastern seaboard of our country. Sabi ko nga na equally important yung eastern seaboard, and that traverses the Pacific Ocean from the north of our country down to Mindanao and Surigao City. So kaya nga gusto natin sana na mabigyan din ng capability to protect the Philippine territory, and i-easy natin dyan sa area. So again, with this development, napakagandang balita regardless of whoever wins in Washington by November. So again, magandang development ito para sa akin.
Opo, and other topic lang po. Kailan po yung susunod na bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair? Ngayong budget season na, kasi nababanggit nyo po noon na dahil na-observe nyo talaga yung iba't ibang programs ng pamahalaan through BPSF. Ngayong budget season, ano-ano po yung mga learnings nyo sa BPSF na i-apply nyo kapag umarangkada na yung mga budget deliberation?
Well, dun sa first part ng tanong mo, ang susunod po na BPSF will be this week. It will be in Tacloban, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali. At sa nakalipas na mga dumaang buwan, nakaka-22 or 23 BPSF na po tayo sa buong bansa. At sa ilalim ng liderato ni Speaker Martin Romualdez, nakikita po natin na mabilis po natin na ihahatid ang mga ayuda, tulong sa ating mga kababayan upang tugunan ang pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin sa pamamagitan ng CBOL, ESIP, AKAP, AX, farm. All of these are being benefited by our sectors that require the most assistance, especially sa kanilang hanapbuhay, maging magsasaka, maging kabataan, maging mangingisda ka man. Kung patuloy po ito mangyayari, bagamat kami po ay hanggang leeg ang trabaho dahil magbabudget hearing na po kami sa susunod na mga linggo, naniniwala naman po ako hindi po titigil ang mababang kapulungan, especially under the leadership of Speaker Martin Romualdez, to ensure that the BPSF will continue. And in so much that it has to continue, we will also make sure that the budget that is required by this program will be protected in the 2025 National Expenditure Program.
Para sa atin, dahil nga may nakaka-23 na BPSF na tayo, no? Isang patunay ito na ang ating administrasyon under the BBM administration at siyempre dito sa mababang kapulungan under the leadership of our speaker has made it through to has made the delivery of public service to the people hanggang sa baba. So ito yung sinasabing bringing the government closer to the people. And perhaps no other way to manifest this by bringing all these funds and services down to the grassroots level. First time ito nangyari sa ating bansa. At ito ay napakagandang idea na ipinatupad ng ating speaker at ng ating mahal na presidente, dahil nga nakita natin na kailangan maramdaman ng ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na nasa laylayan ng lipunan kung tawagin, na merong gobyernong tumitingin sa kanila at nagmamahal sa kanila. And this is the best manifestation of the adage or the maxim that says bringing the government closer to the people. Ito ho yun.
Ako sa akin na yung BPSF is a window to see the plight of our countrymen. Yung bang pag pumupunta ka kasi sa kalsada, you're going down to the grassroots level sa ground, nakikita natin kung ano talaga yung sitwasyon eh. Not only such time na, pagbaba ng BPSF, makikita natin yung talagang needs ng mga tao. So having said that, I really applaud yung move ni Presidente Bongbong Marcos at Speaker Martin Romualdez for doing the BPSF na direktang nare-receive yung tulong ng bawat Pilipino. Inaabot yung mga Pilipino. Kaya dito naman sa amin sa Congress that we will make sure that the funding of such programs mentioned by DSJJ Suarez will be protected. Kung hindi ma-maintain lamang, madagdagan pa natin to increase the number of beneficiaries of such programs.
Dagdagan ko lang, no? Being a legislator, napansin din po natin sa maraming BPSF, maraming mga congressman sa iba't ibang mga distrito pumupunta sa iba't ibang mga lalawigan. Doon, nakakatulong din po ito sa kanilang mga legislative capabilities kasi tulad ng sinabi ni Ernix, nakikita nila yung sitwasyon sa laylayan. At the same time, nasasaksihan din po nila yung implementasyon ng pondong inaprubahan namin nung nakarang taon. Because we're talking about in the hundreds of millions being downloaded to individuals. So this helps in the legislative performance because come the budget hearing, we can actually say that yes, the budget and the funds were used properly and effectively. And the BPSF was one proper conduit to ensure that the funds were benefited by the less fortunate na mga kababayans natin. So again, congratulations sa ating Pangulo Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos.